2, folks. Today we will be talking about black-eyed children, and we have two guests with us today. Our first guest needs absolutely no introduction because you have seen him so many times. Chris, no, I'm kidding. Kaden! Say hello, Kaden.
Hello, everybody.
And our second person who just came back from the gym and has a shirt called Sinazu and owns a coffee shop named Sinazu with the best coffee imaginable.
Nice plug.
Chris.
Thank you. Hello,
Say hi.
everybody. Hi.
He already said hi. Today's episode will be black-eyed children. Now, do you guys know what black-eyed children
I can
are?
most certainly say I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay, so essentially, I'm going to just picture this. You're walking down the street, hanging out, just came back from a movie theater, about to go into your car.
Sounds good.
Two children come up to you. Sir, have you seen our mommy and daddy? No, kiddos.
I'm not your mommy.
No, not the daddy either.
No, kiddos. I have not seen your parents. Oh. Can we use your phone? Do you have games on that phone? No, I'm kidding. Can we please call our parents? Can you please drive us to this and that location? Now, if you say yes, kind of don't know what will happen to you, but we're going to imagine that it's not going to be good.
What's with the black eye?
If you look closer, you do realize that those are not children. There's like
Why they
a
come?
crucial detail missing. They don't have eyes. They're just hollowed out and they're black.
So little
They're
detail.
like-
They have don't have eyes.
Yeah, it's all.
No.
black.
No. Did you guys hear that? There, something just pounded on like a wall.
No, we didn't hear anything.
That's creepy. But yeah, essentially they're just like tiny little spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to call them, who have black eyes and usually just ask for a lot of things.
Now, and do you have to.
So a
is
child,
Is it
but-
like a black eye, like the eyes are black, or do they
Just
have like
fully
a black
hollowed
eye,
out.
like
Just
somebody's been punched?
They don't have
No,
eyes.
they
They're black
just
spots.
don't have eyes at all. It's
Okay, all right. You just want to.
yeah, hollowed out. Creepy. I know.
Oh, I heard the sound now, and it felt like something was hitting the walls. I don't know. Let's just get through this.
Something keeps happening.
Yes.
It's every single episode now. at this
I hear
point.
that, but
It just happened in
I don't know.
Bigfoot.
Maybe
Now it's
we
happening
shouldn't
in
do
this
this in
one.
the nighttime. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, let's just get into
can you
story.
bring me home?
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
No, you have to get through this.
Before we get into this, if there is something with us, if it's pounding on the door, if it's pounding on the wall, we no, that's creepy. No offense,
There are
but
things
we
I
do
can-
not wish for you to be here. We do not take any
But nothing will.
spirits
No
or
entity
any
will come through the
paranormal
video.
presence. I don't know why I said present. We don't take any negative energy if there is something here because something's pounding on stuff and that's kind of worrying. But anyways, let's just get on to the main point,
We have to carry.
I don't
which
know.
is story number 1. Also, I'm going to be reading these as if I'm the main character or like I'm the person who wrote the story.
Exactly. As
Just
if you
in case
were
there is any confusion.
good. As if you were the
So-
writer. So go ahead. Now, Chris, you know this now. He is reading as if he were the writer.
Okay.
No more making fun of whether it's a she or he. All right. That's happened before. So go ahead, Ken.
1 second.
Should I do a female voice? Just to make
No, I think you can just narrate it, just immerse yourself in it, but
Okay.
Oh man.
My
and that's a
husband.
Mickey moment. That's a Mickey moment.
Can I do Goofy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you goofy? What are we even doing at this point?
I don't know, but all the noises and everything stopped.
Okay, guys, this is kind of creeping me out. Let's get on to the stories. Now, it says around Christmas, I was 14 years old, and a bunch of family members were over at my house. At the time, I lived in the middle of the Maine woods. this kid showed up a couple of years older than me, out of nowhere, knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Started asking for a ride. Sir, please give me a ride. I had never seen him before and knew everyone in the community since it was very small. He asked my Uncle Gary. Shout out to Gary's, if there are any Garys watching this. And I for a ride home. And we did. We figured it might have been a family member or a neighbor or something. It was the middle of winter and he was only wearing a hoodie. So we were concerned since he was only a kid about my age at the time. He had the hood on, but we didn't think anything of it since it was so cool. We were, a bit weirded out by the kid, but my uncle and I were just like, you know what, let's just do it. Let's take him home. It seemed like a good excuse to get away from the family for a while, so the kid gets in the car and just keeps saying things like, oh, I went out on a walk. I don't get why kids get in the car and just keep saying things like, I just had a brain fart. Okay, I'm going to edit it out. Oh, I was out on a walk. I don't get why people are so weird about giving me a ride. I'm just a kid. Said every kid ever. He didn't answer any questions except for telling us where to drive. Almost like he had a limited number of pre-programmed phrases, rehearse, slash program. He sat in the front seat and I sat in the back. My uncle kept this inside light on because he felt a bit weird. Even though we were both pretty strong guys and active and in shape. So anyways, this kid had us driving out 20 miles in the middle of nowhere. And just halfway down this road, he's like, oh, thank you. This is it. Even though there was absolutely nothing. Nothing around. No structures, no buildings, no stairs in the woods. Absolutely nothing. He got out of the car, just started walking. As we drove away, he pulled his hood back and smiled and waved at us. His eyes were super shiny and creepy. Yeah, he didn't even say thanks or shake our hands or anything. This is the end of story number 1.
I'm confused.
Do you guys need a recap? I'll just go ahead and recap the story since he's confused.
What's happening?
Around Christmas, person's 14 years old. Weird child comes asking for a ride. Uncle Gary and this person decide why not. So they drive around, they ask him questions. He doesn't answer them. He just says things not over and over again, but kind of like pre-programmed, like he already knew what he wanted to say.
First off, why was it important to specify that this is my husband or something in the beginning? You lost us with that.
I don't know.
Like, that really wasn't important information. Could have just been like, I was 14 years old at such and such. Because you messed me up. I was concentrating on what's going to happen with the husband. Okay. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, it's just like a fact.
I get it, but it was like, it's not important.
Okay, first of all, this is happening to the husband. Second of all,
Who died?
what? Who died?
Yes. What's the horror
And
story?
here's the thing. He's knocking on your door and you want to help him out.
Bad New Year!
Wouldn't you call the police or something if you're driving them in the middle of nowhere? Like, if you're driving the child and they're like, okay, this is my house, this is mom and dad, whatever, good Samaritan, you did your deed. But if somebody was telling me, drive me in the middle of the woods and just leave me there and there's nothing else around, I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know.
I'd be okay with that.
But who died?
Okay.
I gotta
I
tell you.
think he still
Yeah.
he still thinks it was a funeral. It was around.
It was,
No, man, because
it was around
Nobody-
Christmas, man.
it's a horror story.
It's not. It's just
Child
telling
is the
you.
horror part.
And plus,
But
Black
I
children,
think-
if you see a child take off its hood, smile, wave at
I
him,
need to
his
get
eyes
scared.
are
I need to
shiny.
get scared.
he's not. Oh, you weren't. You were scared. You were scared a minute ago. Okay, so the other thing is, this probably was some kind of AI robot or something from the future. Alien. I don't know.
I think it's false.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, but let's move on to
Just
story
because you
number
guys
2.
are confused, let me just add this in here. I didn't say what it says at the beginning because it's not important. It's just from the female or the wife
I don't know. It confused us.
saying
She's like-
that her experiences have been with shadow peoples, but her husband has experience.
Oh, okay. So that makes. So what you're saying
So
is
that's
yes.
why it says my
She's
husband.
retelling another person's story,
Yeah.
really, because she's not the first person experiencing it.
No.
Okay, this story is kind of, I don't know, they're kind of bland. So what Chris is saying, we need something that will really scare us.
Yes, I do.
I once worked. Oh wait, hold on. I didn't say the thing. Let's get on to story
Good.
No,
Let us know,
2.
Doy.
I once
Do
worked
it.
at a department store as a warehouse/stalker guy. One night, person's on the ladder.
You mean stalker, not stalker, right?
He's stalking.
Stalking thing.
He's-
Yeah, because it sounded like you worked as a stalker. I didn't know if that's the job. Stalker, like somebody that puts on.
Yeah.
stuff. We need to be clear on this.
But he also does look at the people. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
One night I was on a ladder and saw this girl. She looked like she was in her 20s, but was dressed like a little girl. She had blonde pigtails and a pink dress with I don't know, girl stuff. I'm not a girl, so I don't know all this. And some old woman around the store just begging for candies. She's leading some old woman
Okay.
and saying, please, please, candy, toys, like a small child would. I thought it was odd and was just watching from 10 feet above them, not caring about my surroundings, and that's when I fell off the ladder and broke my leg. Sorry,
Where's this guy? He's like,
I don't know. They must be in like a department store.
I get it. He
Well,
was-
it says he's in a department store, that's
Okay,
why.
good.
Okay, anyways. Wait.
I
If
think
they're
this
looking.
time it's 2 falls.
Yeah. So Chris is suggesting you might end up with 2 false stories rather than just one.
Whoa, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Okay, that scared me. Anyways, can you please stop laughing? It's not funny. This isn't about this happy story. Anyways, person's watching from 10 feet above them. Old woman now responding, just seemed dazed as the girl was throwing things in the cart and laughing. Wow, I'm getting weird looks. I wonder why. The girl, she turned, made eye contact with said person, and we got frightened. Yeah, this is the most frightened he has ever been. I would be too. I mean, if I saw like a 20-year-old
So
woman
yeah, what else?
dressing up as a child and they're looking at me,
I don't know. How would you know they're 20?
How do you look at you?
Well, because they look like a
He
20-year-old.
don't
I
have-
don't know, but how does he know? Yeah, and that's the other thing is, I thought we were gonna get some story about how there's no eyes or something.
Her eyes were blacked out. Like,
Ah.
blacked out. She kind
Number
of
2, it's
snort-
false also.
Why are you She kind of snored at me and laughed.
Let's make 3 false, not no one.
Anyway,
False, no true.
as you can see, these two are my, my guests. These two are not. These are, for them,
hackers.
it's just comedy hour, and it's not upsetting me, but hard
A
work,
little bit.
dedication.
It scared people.
Yeah.
Let's just start from when you guys weren't laughing, because now I have a ton of stuff to add.
Story number 3.
Girl returns, makes eye contact with the person. He gets so scared because her eyes went out. And there, just absolutely nothing. Snort at the person and laughed. Told my co-workers, laughed at me, and went looking for the duo. Could not find them anywhere. People are just saying, you know what, maybe it was just a weird experience. The cashier did say they saw an old woman, but
Here.
there was no girl anywhere. That is the end of story number 2.
Sorry, but that's false.
Can you
I'm
read-
sure. You can You stop reading this. You want that's false.
Okay, can you at least tell me why you think it's false?
Because it had no storyline. The old woman, the girls, she looked, she cried, she screamed, everything.
The dude's up in 20 feet
Yeah,
above.
the crash-
He's 20 years old.
The guy came down from the ladder when he was talking to the cashier. What are you expecting? Him to be like 10 feet in the air, like, hey,
was
did
kind
you
of
see
creepy. It did-
that?
you know what? You're right. It did turn out to be a stalker.
Yeah.
Let's just get into the game. Let's see if this is going to be
I
funny for
think
them.
you invented that.
Okay, you know what? I'm just not going to listen to them. If they hear my stories, they hear it. At least everybody watching at home knows them. That's at least what I'm going to be telling myself tonight when I fly into a pillow at 3:45 a.m.
You shouldn't be up at that time.
Okay, getting a bit too personal.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You're not gonna be
let's
up at
move
the
on to the game called Would You Rather. I have made up this game. I'm the first person to think of it. Nobody has ever thought of a concept called Would You Rather.
Yeah, I think he's being sarcastic.
Okay, let's get into the first Would You Rather.
I need my prize for the last game.
Oh, it's
Don't
the
worry.
croissant is still.
You're going to give it to him eventually. If you don't know what we're talking
I
about,
know a
then
place
go back
where
to
you can buy
episode
croissant.
6. Go back to episode 6 where you can actually see
Chocolate
what
or
he won.
regular?
Did he win the
Chocolate.
game or did he actually win the stories? You're just going to have to wait and find out and see that episode first before you're watching this one. And if you're watching this one first, go back to the Bigfoot episode. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now let's get on to the game. Would you rather have sleep paralysis forever or be haunted by someone or something for 10 years?
I'm haunted. It's okay.
So,
I can
I'm
you
good
can-
with haunted.
I have many fans. It's haunting me. It's okay.
Okay. Now, when it does say that, keep in mind, it means like scary thing, not fan.
I'm very
Yeah, but the other option is to be like stuck in a slumber forever, right?
Yeah.
And you did say
Yeah.
forever. Like
No.
one of them is 10 years, the other one's forever. So
Like you wake up from the sleep paralysis, you go back to bed, you get sleep paralysis again. It's like an infinite cycle. You're not stuck.
yeah,
permanently.
it's still forever.
It's just-
I don't like
You just said
sleep.
forever,
It's okay.
right?
Yes, but you just can't have good rest. It's not like forever.
I understand,
stuck.
but can you imagine not having good rest after like a week, a month, a year? You're
I
just
do
kind of
that
like
for
a zombie.
Okay. Well, here's a second one. Would you rather have a friend be haunted by anything you choose, must be evil, or have a friend choose what you will be haunted by, again,
This is a
must
good
be
question.
evil?
So would you rather be haunted by what I choose, or would you rather choose what I should be haunted by? Is that correct? Am I summing it up right?
Hold on.
I think I got something I lost in translation.
yes.
So, would you rather have your friend be haunted by something you choose, or would you rather have your friend choose something that you'll be haunted by?
I would rather have my friend haunted by something I choose.
The same.
Yeah.
Okay,
So you would rather be haunted by what I choose?
Kate, what would you choose?
I don't know, but I would rather choose and have my friend haunted than
Why?
be haunted. Because I already know that.
Well, what do
anything
you want to?
choose-
What do
you
you want to
choose will
choose?
not
What
be
haunts him?
What? What do you want that haunt me?
And it
No,
must
I
be-
think the black-eyed children would be good.
Wait, that would be creepy.
No,
Yeah.
try Bigfoot with ATV.
Yeah, there you go. I'm still thinking about the ATV.
Bigfoot on an ATV.
That's
that
good.
would be even better.
And we
Anyway,
can. He had 4 ATV. We can
Yeah.
play together, all 4.
Exactly. Do a circle. Oh, well, we'd have to go find them because that might have been stuck in a tree, flown everywhere. Maybe they're in the bottom of the lake
okay. Well, all of you guys.
or in the tent.
They're playing video games.
Well, that is the end of the game. Now let's move on to story. No, there
Everybody's
is no
gonna win.
winning. There is no winning in
Oh,
that one
man.
game.
Everybody is
Now.
a winner.
Let's move on to story number 3. I would like to start this off by saying I do not like horror, nor do I believe in paranormal stuff. However, this past experience has made me rethink things. You see, I work in a pretty boring job. I just sit in the gas station all day. But as I was getting ready for my shift to end, that's when I hear a voice say, "Hello? Could you help me and my brother?" At first, I didn't know what to think. I had been trained for things like this. However, of course, I ended up doing my best. I gave you some drinks, food, and as they were walking out, I saw the girl turn at me with black eyes and say, "Thank you, sir." Next day, I quit and never went back. That is the end of story number 3. Now, K-Dad, do you want to recap the stories or should I?
You can go ahead. It's your job as the host.
Exactly.
Okay. Story number 1. This person's wife is telling the story, but this happened to the husband. It's around Christmas. Person's 14 years old. Child comes out the door and says, "Hello, can you drive me to such and such place? I want to go back to my house." The uncle, named Gary, and the husband decide, why not? Let's go out, stay away from the family for a bit. So they go, they're driving around, asking the child questions. He doesn't answer, he just tells them where to drive. Eventually, they get to an empty road, and the kid says, "Thank you, this is the spot where I need to be. This is my home." And as they are about to leave, they see the kid take off his hood, smile, wave with black eyes, hollowed out, nothing at all. Super shiny. That is the recap of story number 1. Now the recap of story number 2. Person works at a department store. He does the inventory. He works in the warehouse as well. One night on a ladder, sees the girl. She looks like she's in her 20s. She's dressing up as a child, leading this old woman around the store begging for candy and toys, much like a small child would. Person thought it was odd, but they didn't think much of it until the child looks back at them, smiling, no eyes whatsoever. Person gets very, very freaked out. He talks to his co-workers. They say, "Everything's fine, you just gotta let it go." But he gets to one cashier and they say, "Well, I did see the old woman leaving the store, but there was no other girl with her." That is the recap of story number 2. And the third recap is this person doesn't like horror, doesn't believe in paranormal stuff. However, this experience made him rethink everything. Works at a gas station. Somebody comes in, a child, asks, "Can you help me and my brother?" He does his best, gives food and drinks, and as they're about to leave, she says, "Thank you, sir." No eyes whatsoever, all out. They leave. He quit his job the next day, and he's never been back. That is the recap of story number 3, and that is your guys' job to think about which story I made up.
I have some problems.
Oh.
Nobody called the police. That's one.
In all 3 stories?
Yeah.
Yes, nobody. You see child
Okay.
alone.
Story
that
number
is
2,
true.
I just want to add this in here. Story number 2 makes sense because, people are just shopping. What's their
Wait,
total
hold on.
cost?
Here's my question. Are you telling us what to decide? Like, you told us the stories. If we have questions, yes, we'll address them. But basically, his point still stands. At
Yeah.
any point, it was regarding a child, whether they're freaky or not, or whatever's going on, and nobody called the authorities.
Okay. Again.
So, and I think that's kind of weird.
Well, yeah, you guys are right. I was just saying that story number 2, it makes sense why they didn't call the cops.
Why?
Because
You see a
if
cashier.
you see a 20-year-old woman dressing up as a little child, who are you to stop them? Dress
I'm
how
a
you want to
cashier and I
dress.
see someone without eyes. I call
The
someone.
cashier didn't see the girl though. It was just the old woman. That's the problem.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, okay, so in 2 of the stories, yeah, so.
Story number 1, you leave the child, maybe he's just gonna walk up the road and then the house will be there. They didn't drive all the way, you see.
It's simple. You see child call the police.
And then story number 3,
The same.
it was at night, I don't know why.
So,
Yeah.
He was trained to do the stuff, but he ended up not
As a
doing it.
gas
So that's
station
his fault.
attendant, I don't know what kind of training you get, like. Yeah, I don't think
what
they
to do
should.
with missing children.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you
But-
work at a gas station.
But
Go
they are
ahead.
not creepy. They are no eyes, nobody dies.
So
Wait, that kind of
these-
sounded like a verse.
But I need a
They
horror
have no
story.
eyes.
Yes.
They have no eyes.
No,
Nobody
no.
dies.
Nobody gets
So
hurt.
yeah,
Nobody,
these are
nothing.
very
He
shallow
wants
stories.
violence.
Exactly, or actual horror story that'll scare us.
Exactly.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
but
we've gotten more scared of the noises around here and the
Exactly.
you guys are not going to be thinking that for
Still, I think our task is to figure out which one Kevin wrote.
To me, all three seem false.
Yes,
But
but
I
which
wrote
one?
one.
Which one do you think he wrote?
I don't know. The last one, it's too short. It can be real because not so many details. It's simple.
I would think that too. That he would just the other two he grabbed, and then this one just kind of he went with a story that's pretty short. So I think that's a Kevin made up story. Is that what you're thinking, or
Yes.
you didn't think number one was true either, but it doesn't seem
So,
like he
you
wrote it.
guys want to walk in story number one?
No.
Or, sorry,
Story number three.
You both agree?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1. Story number 3 was indeed made by me. Congratulations, you two.
We are this.
Shame on it.
Yes.
Good
And I
job.
think, just a hint, I think you messed it up because it was too short compared to the other two.
Yes.
And,
I was kind of rushing.
well, here's the other thing.
I don't remember.
Your story, although we knew that you made it up, was more credible than the other two.
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
'cause I
So
made
the other
stories.
two appeared a lot more fictitious than this one. I mean, you did a good job, so.
I mean, story number 1 kind of makes sense. Story number 2 was.
No, they didn't. Both of them felt like they're
No.
like just some false stories.
Nah.
And this one actually felt like a story I could live with and would be true, but we felt that it was
we are
short.
smarter.
Yeah. So the idea is slowly but surely we'll know which stories you make up. I think.
Okay. Well, that is it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed and ciao.
Bye.